Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney if you guys are new, and in today's video this is going to be part of our Wedding Wednesday video series. Now I know y'all are like, girl, you have not posted in there for a while. It is quite literally almost the end of August, and we got married at the end of March. If you watched my last video, I did mention I started a job. Everything has been like a transition for us. I wanted to make this video because I had a subscriber request for kind of like a after the destination wedding, like my experience, how I felt about it, all that, pros, cons, do's, don'ts, things like that. And I thought that that was just such an amazing idea. So I made a list of just things that I wanted to kind of mention to you guys if you're considering a destination wedding, or if you already have one planned, girl, like what to kind of be like on the lookout for. This video is not going to be like my do's and my don'ts, but I will have like my pros and cons. I'm also going to try to put in like pictures and things like that. We actually have a full wedding video, but it's like 25 minutes, so I don't know if I'm going to get like some snippets or something like that. I don't know. We'll go ahead and get started. You guys know I can talk. If you guys like this series, if you like videos in this series, definitely give it a subscribe. If you just like any type of like beauty channels, lifestyle channels, things like that. I also love like handbags and things like that. That's like my thing. So contemporary, luxury, all of that. So if you are interested in any of that, definitely hit the subscribe button down below, and let's get into the video, sis. All right, so yeah, I have started my little listy list, y'all. I literally have everything. I spent like, I think I stayed up till 2 last night trying to just make sure that I cover every single base with you guys and just kind of give you as much value in the video as possible. So I'll go ahead and start and try to make this as short and brief as possible. So first things first, if you are new here, let's do a little bit of recap, right? I got married in Cancun, Mexico on March 29th. That's on a Friday. Overall, let me just go ahead and say I'm really happy that we chose to do a destination wedding. It's everything that we wanted and more, and it was just an amazing experience altogether. So wherever you're gonna go, so if you're planning a destination wedding or you already got one planned, wherever you're gonna go, just know it's gonna be such an amazing experience for you and your husband and whoever decides to go with you on the journey. So we got married at the Hyatt Ziva. You guys, it's absolutely breathtaking. Like, I can remember it, but you just have to be there to experience it. And the pictures don't do it any justice. I will have that resort linked down below. It was so nice, very clean. I mean, we had butlers, like, I mean, it was just amazing, you guys. Amazing. Like, it was just nothing short of amazing. I'll say that. It was just beautiful. I know you guys are probably gonna be tired of me saying beautiful and amazing this video, but literally those are just like 2 words that describe the entire experience. The resort, it was clean, it was just nice, it was the staff were super friendly. It was just everything, literally. And then especially like, if you know me, if you've watched those videos, like that was my first time like traveling like out of the US. So I had such an amazing experience, just everything, all the good things. So yeah, I will have their information linked down below. We loved it. Oh, we loved it, you guys. Now, the side of the resort that we stayed on was more so like the adult side, but it's called the turquoise side. That is just simply for like your rooms and like kind of like the towers that you're in. Everything else is like all inclusive. The turquoise side, I think the turquoise side does come with the butlers that are just kind of like at your service, like no matter what, girl, at your service 24/7. They had 24/7 room service. Amazing. The food was really good too. And then the turquoise side, so if you stay on like the adults, it's kind of like adults only. It's not the family and children side, but you have access to like all of like, you know, the pools and things like that. Turquoise side actually has like a rooftop pool. You have to have a turquoise room, and they have like a list and everything. They make sure that, you know, it's who you say you are. It's no kids. It's so peaceful because it's a whole pool on the rooftop, like just dedicated to the adults. And we really love that. It has like 2 hot tubs. Our room had a hot tub on the balcony. It was just so nice. I could share some clips that I did get. I tried to get as many clips and things as possible, but you guys, I was really like just relishing and living in the moment. So my clips may not be as good, but yeah, the total experience was so good. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. And I also wanted to note that we stayed from Thursday until Monday. So we left on Monday. It was nice, 4 nights, super good. I feel like that is all you need. 3 nights, or most of our guests stayed 3 nights. I think actually no, majority of our guests stayed 3 nights and then left on Sunday. We stayed 4, left on Monday, and it was just, that was amazing. Like, it really was. That's literally, quite literally, all the time that you need there. It was all inclusive, so you're not paying for anything unless you want like souvenirs or like floaties, things like that. You're not paying for anything, so you're just waking up and just kind of felt weird just going into restaurants or going to get coffee and just leaving, like ordering and leaving. It just kind of felt a little bit weird, but you get used to it. And it was so good. And the food was really good too. Yeah, we enjoyed it. Our guests enjoyed it. We did not have much of like a specific itinerary, I would say. So we really wanted people to just come for the wedding. We had a big dinner at the hibachi restaurant the night after the wedding, and the rest of everyone's time was just for themselves, and I think they really enjoyed it. Like I did mention in my other video, we did have kids there, so we had families there, and they were able to just enjoy Mexico, enjoy the resort with their children, their husbands, themselves. Like, it was just all really nice. If you are going to have an itinerary though, definitely make sure you give that to your guests, and just kind of also try to allow them a little bit of free time to themselves, to enjoy the resort or wherever you're going, so that it's pretty much like a vacation, like they paid to be there. So I would definitely, that would be like one of my tips to do. Okay, so now I've given you guys a recap and kind of like where we were and all of that. So now let's get into the actual wedding, because I know that's why you're here. So our wedding ceremony, I want to say it was absolutely amazing. The lady that led our ceremony, like, was so good. Like, it was longer than what I expected, but not in a bad way. It was very thoughtful. We did not write our own vows, because I feel like what you say to your husband, or what I would say to my husband, is very intimate. So we did not go through writing our own vows to read out loud in front of everybody. But it was just super nice. The ceremony itself was very nice and intimate, and we had our closest family and friends, and it was just amazing. So I also want to get into the fact that our wedding experience as a whole was so professional. I mean, from beginning to end, very professional. We had a wedding coordinator. Her name was Julia, and she literally left no stone unturned. She made sure that everything, every little detail was there. And I think part of that is because whenever you have a destination wedding, you don't live there. So it's only so much like hands-on you can really be with your wedding. So you're really trusting someone else to get the visionary, like to just do everything, to basically make your vision come to life for your wedding. And that can be kind of hard, because you actually want to touch things, you want to see things, you want to see how things are gonna look, and sometimes you're not able to really see that. You can kind of give them inspo, and I can get into that a little bit later, but all you can do is just like hope and pray that what they do and what they deliver is what you ask for. And that takes a lot of trust, especially when it comes to destination weddings. I feel like when you have weddings like in the States, or like wherever you are, you're way more hands-on, because you can actually see, you can actually touch, you can feel, you can just be there to be like, no, these flower arrangements are not it. No, it's literally like day of, like, I'm not gonna know if flower arrangements are what I want until the day of, until the day that I'm like looking at the flowers. I'm like, oh my God, that's what I wanted, or that's not what I wanted. You definitely have to trust the process, I would say. But I do want to add to that too, a positive note is having a wedding coordinator or having a wedding planner in general is so much better. I don't know what I would have done without a coordinator or a planner. And I don't know how people do weddings without a planner. It is so much, like, I kid you not, so many small little details that I'm bound to forget, or I don't even want to deal with, that just having a wedding coordinator, having a wedding planner was just so godsend. It was amazing, you guys. Having someone to just do everything. Now I will say she did have a lot of direction, because with my wedding coordinator, they send over like a spreadsheet and it covers everything. So all of your details from the day before the wedding, so wedding rehearsal, the timings of everything, of course your music, DJ, all of that, a whole playlist that you have to make, the food, if it's going to be buffet style or a plated menu, the cocktail drinks, the cocktail hour, your hors d'oeuvres, your signature drinks, things like that, how many guests you have, all of that is literally in the spreadsheet. Every little small little minor detail, anything that you want to add, you can. It's all there basically. So it made planning a lot easier. I will say there were times that I was overwhelmed and stressed. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was stressful, but it was only stressful because you're just trying to plan something and you're hoping that it's really, really nice. And honestly, a lot of the stress just comes from trying to please other people and trying to make it a party that everyone will enjoy, because you're thinking, oh my gosh, like I don't want to go cheap on this. I don't want someone talking about my wedding. And it's a sad reality, but it is reality. Thankfully, eventually I got over that because, like I said, we had a very, very small wedding. I forgot the number count. It's in one of my other videos, but I forgot the count. It was under 30 people, I know for sure. It does start to kind of get to where you're thinking about what other people would want, or what other people wouldn't want, or how would they feel, or what are they gonna think of us if we don't do this or if we do that. So I will say that feeling went away quite early, but it definitely was there. And it's kind of sad that when you're having a party for all of your closest, supposedly your closest friends and family, that you would feel that way. But I think you have to get out of your own head and just plan the wedding for you and your husband, because you're paying for it. So make sure that it's everything that you want. I get accommodating others and trying to make other people's lives a little bit more easier, but it is still your day, so definitely remember that. Next, we're gonna get into the cost of our wedding. I don't really hear a lot of people when they're talking about like planning weddings and things like that. They talk about like crazy outrageous costs, but I never hear like more, I don't know, I guess realistic numbers. But I don't know, maybe people are getting quoted that, but our wedding total, like, and this is like without, this is probably most likely without like dress, shoes, things like that. So like without the small details, without the rings, you know, of course, our wedding was about $25,000, and that includes hotel stay and first class flight tickets for me and my husband, and the whole wedding together. So yeah, it was about $25,000. And to me, that was way more affordable than having it done over here in the States. For one, we would have had maybe like 100 or more people if we would have had a wedding over here, where we live at, where we're from, Alabama, or where we live in Georgia. So I think it would have been well over that much just for how many guests would have actually came, because we're in the States. And the food, the venues over here. I was looking at some a hotel venue here in Midtown, or yeah, in Midtown Atlanta. It was like 10-15,000 just for the venue. Not food, not photography, not videography, none of that. It was just the menu. It was just the menu. It was just the venue. I also looked at the Chateau and Lam. That is somewhere in Georgia. I think it's a little bit north from here, about 40 minutes, I think. That was $40,000. But I think they included their catering services and things like that. But it was $40,000. Granted, it's very, very nice, but still, $40,000 is crazy for venue and catering. Crazy work. And that is just my personal opinion. If you have done it, or you know someone who has done it and they had a ball and they were able to pay for it, great for them. I'm happy for them. But for us, it was just unrealistic to think that for one day, not even a full day, to spend that much on a wedding. It just wasn't, we were both on the same page with it. It just wasn't worth it, honestly. And it wasn't what we wanted. We did not want a wedding with hundreds of people. We wanted something very small and very intimate. Both of us were very clear on that when we started planning. And I did mention we got first class flights to Cancun Delta. that was such an amazing experience for us. That was my first time flying in like years, like since I was little. So that was a really, really good experience. Everything went very seamless. It wasn't any delays or anything like that. So we had a ball. It was fun. It was really, really fun. And it was just like a little treat to ourselves. I mean, you only get married once, right? Well, I mean, not everybody, but it just saying, you know, this is a very, very unique experience. It's very important. It's very special. So we kind of went a little bit more, but yeah, so minus that, our rooms maybe like $2,000, $3,000. So yeah, our wedding, I feel like, was a pretty reasonable price for everything that we got. And yeah, no complaints at all. Now, I do want to say I have some pros and cons here. My list really isn't complete, so I'm pretty much probably going to end up doing this in another video. And if I think of some other things, I know it may be a little bit sporadic. I have like a little plan here, but I'm just talking to you guys. So some pros and cons. So I'll start with, let's end off on a good note. Let's start with our cons first, because I don't have as many cons as I do pros. So the con, I would say, to having a destination wedding, I feel like first off is the food, because, and like I said, our food was great. Our food was good, okay? But the con is that you don't get a tasting. I think you can schedule time to go to the resort and just kind of do like a walkthrough, but you still won't see like the actual, you still won't get the feels for how your day is going to be until it's your day, right? So yeah, no tastings, no cake tasting, no food tasting. So you're just kind of like hoping that it's good. Maybe look at some reviews of people who's had weddings there and what their plated menu or what their buffet was like. Our buffet was really, really good, by the way. All of our guests loved it. The drinks were amazing. Loved having the open bar. So good. But yeah, that is probably one of the cons. And one of the things that I wanted, I feel like our wedding cake was good, but I did specifically ask for buttercream, and I think they did kind of some sort of like buttercream, but I think it was more of like a whipped icing, and I'm not a whipped icing fan, so that was like a little bit of a bummer. But it didn't affect our wedding day, or I would say it didn't affect like our reception at all. We still ate, we were drinking, we were dancing. Like, it was still very, very fun, and everyone still very much enjoyed it. But that is like one of the cons, if I'm being really, really honest with you. It's not being able to do the tasting, not being able to tell them, okay, well, it was literally, we didn't see our wedding cake until the day of. So there's that. I would just say, definitely be super, super intentional. Make sure that you and your wedding coordinator are like this. Me and Julia were like that. We were locked in many Zoom meetings or Teams meetings towards the end. And I do have something to say in regards to that, but I'll save it for my do's and don'ts video, because this one I think is getting a little lengthy. My next con, which really isn't a con, it's just more of like a fact with a destination wedding, or just with any wedding, you really do have to just trust the process, because you're wanting to be stress-free and just enjoy your wedding day. You're going to have to trust the process. And if you are a control freak, or if you're someone who has anxiety around things like that and the not knowing, that may be a little bit hard for you. I would say to pray and just find things that make your life a little bit easier and take it easy. Yeah, think of it as this is our day. Nothing is going to ruin this day. Remain positive. I think that's a big thing too. Remaining positive no matter what happens. And I think you'll be fine. Always the con, it's the risk of something going wrong. I feel like that's with any wedding. I feel like on your wedding day, it could be anything. I don't want to scare you, I don't want to freak you out, but it could just be simply anything. So just, like I said, prepare to have a positive mindset. So if something does happen or something goes on, that it doesn't affect your mood and your full day. Get a wedding planner, get a wedding coordinator, get someone to deal with those fires so that you don't have to put them out around your wedding or the day of your wedding. Another con I would say is not having your own like makeup artist or photographer unless you like fly them out, because you're at the mercy of you know, their stylists and things like that. But don't get me wrong, they're very professional. They're professionals at what they do. So if you care about your makeup, you want someone specific to do your hair and makeup, then you may have to consider flying them out or bringing them wherever you're going. Another con is that a lot of your family and friends may not be able to travel. They may not be able to come for whatever reason, whether it's work obligation, family obligation, emergency comes up, financial reasons. It can be anything. They may not be able to come to your wedding. They may have to book a flight, have to pay for a hotel room, and just life in general. So just be prepared. I've seen a lot of TikTok videos where people are like, you know, people have dropped out of my wedding. I've lost bridesmaids, groomsmen. That's another thing. We had one best man and one maid of honor. It cut out all of the drama that I've seen some people have to go through with weddings. We made it very, very simple. We loved it. But yeah, just be cautious that some of your close friends and some of your close family may not be able to go to your wedding. I put on here another con. It's not really a con to me because it is what it is, but another con is that it may be seen as non-traditional by a lot of people. I didn't really have this issue because I really didn't care about people pleasing. But if you do come from like a traditional family and things are done in a church or things are done in a specific setting, that may be a con for you. You may have wanted to experience this and having a destination wedding, but because, you know, things are just, it's very non-traditional. It's definitely different. You may be thinking that may not be something that you want to do. My biggest advice is to do what you want to do. You are paying for it, and it's about your experience as a couple at the end of the day. My last con, and it's not really a con. If you guys see where we had our wedding the wedding ceremony was at the Cliff Gazebo venue, and it's right next to like the pools and things like that because it is part of the resort. So it's not really a con because I didn't even notice them. We literally had so many people. They were very quiet, very respectful. So grateful for that. But we had so many people like watching our wedding, just like random people like in the pool, and they were just like, it's a wedding, so they're just, you know, being respectful and watching someone get married, watching someone just marry the love of their life. Like, so they were so sweet though. I had so many people after the day after our wedding stop us saying, oh my gosh, were you the person that got married? I literally watched you get married from our balcony. It was so beautiful. And so yeah, it's just kind of like having people view you or see you at the wedding, depending on your wedding venue. Of course, you can use their inside venues where I believe you would be the only people in that like conference type of room type of thing like that, or at different venues it's more kind of exclusive. This one was an outside venue, so you know, people are going to be able to see you get married. That wasn't something that we had a big deal with. Like I said, people were very respectful. If I'm being really honest, I didn't see anybody else. I just saw my husband. I just wasn't paying attention to anyone else. So yeah, that can be a con if you let it. So basically with all of those cons, I was kind of grasping for hairs there. I was really trying to think of like what would be considered a con. Most of everything else though are pros, so I'll go ahead and get into that. My first pro is that it was cost effective. Like I said, our wedding total together, I think with like room, flights, and just paying for the wedding just in general was $25,000. Another thing that I like about having a destination wedding is that you can literally have as much as you want and run it up, or you can have a very minimal but yet beautiful, elegant, simple wedding. And I absolutely love that. There's in-between space and you could just do what you want. Altogether, our wedding was definitely cheaper than what we would have paid over here in the States for the same exact wedding. And of course, more people. But my second pro is that it's a beautiful experience. So if you're like me, you've never traveled, it's an absolute beautiful experience. Like, it's just so amazing and it's beautiful, and we had the ocean as our backdrop. Like, that essentially was our venue, was Mexico. So it was just beautiful. We didn't have to do too much with the flowers or anything like that, with decorations or anything like that too, because our backdrop was it. The ocean. It was beautiful, you guys. It was amazing, stunning. Literally, look at the pictures and they look like a postcard. I'll try to put some on the screen somewhere, but they look like a freaking postcard. it was amazing. So another pro is that it is a vacation for you and your guests that decide to come, slash honeymoon if you let it. If you want to stay a little bit longer, it can be that for you. It's very romantic. And yeah, depending on your wedding package that you get a little bit more perks. We had a romantic dinner. Food was amazing. It was just top tier experience. We loved it. So yeah, just think of it like that. It's a vacation. My parents have not gone on vacation in God knows how long, or if ever. So it was very, very nice just being able to see them be at the resort, go to the beach, really just have the time of their lives and share that experience together. And it was really, really nice sharing that experience with my family and his family as well. And then obviously what I mentioned before, you're automatically gonna have a wedding planner or wedding coordinator because you're not there. So I feel like that adding with inside of the cost that you're paying is just chef's kiss. It's amazing because you have a full wedding planner, and that means that you get to be stress-free. Another pro is that well, ours was more so like casual business casual, dressy casual. The dress code can be super, super casual. So it can be as casual as you want it to be, and it works because you're quite literally at the beach. You're on a resort. So it doesn't have to be formal black tie. People don't have to spend money on a really, really super, super nice dress. They can literally be carefree and just be chill. So yeah, that was it for my pros and cons, guys. I loved it. I genuinely loved it. We had such an amazing time. I can literally think about the days that we were there and just relive it. And that's what you want. You want the memories. That's what you essentially are trying to get. The memories with your family and your significant other, and getting married to them, and just having a really, really good time and enjoying the wedding and enjoying what you paid for. Because it's just a big party that you threw for everybody. But overall, it was just such a great experience. I enjoyed it. I had the time of my life, and I would definitely go back. And yeah, so I'm gonna be making a list of do's and don'ts, things and tips and tricks that I think would make that would have made our lives a little bit easier, and that would make your life easier. So if you want that video, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if I missed anything. Try to be as thorough as possible, but yeah, let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if there's something else that you guys want to know about, or if you want some details about certain things. Let me know down in the comments down below, and let me know what you want to see next. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye, loves.